Today, let's get into the controversial topic of a CPN.
I'm too smart to be broke. I'm too smart to be broke. I'm too smart to be broke.
Hey, what's going on, family? It's Cornez with Too Smart to Be Broken. Thank you for coming to the channel. Today, let's get into the controversial topic of a CPN. Shout out to the brother, man. Much love to you, brother, who dropped down in the comments like, man, I was a fan, or I was starting to become a fan until you start talking about CPNs. He's like, I thought you was better than that. I guess not, family. But let's get into it. So first of all, if you don't understand what a CPN is, they have many different names, but essentially what it is a credit profile number or a credit privacy number. Now, what does that mean? It really has the same amount of digits, and it describes a credit profile number the same way a SSN describes a credit profile number. Your credit profile, when you pull your credit report, pretty much is going to have a name associated with it. It's going to have a birth date associated with it. It's going to have an address associated with it. It's going to have like a phone number associated with it. A few different things, right? So that's pretty much it. It's not illegal, but what it is used for is a credit privacy number. If we were looking at it in that capacity, imagine being in witness protection. You have to create a whole new identity. How do they do that? Okay. Another simple suggestion would be, from the privacy standpoint, would be if you're a celebrity or something like that, and the celebrity's going in the dealership to get a car, but actually wants to keep his personal information private, because the SSN is supposed to be private. But that's another story. So that's what that is, and that's what CPN, credit profile number, credit privacy number. That's where that term comes from. Like I said, there's many different variations of names. I do not have one. A couple of my mentors have them, and they use them in their proper capacity. What I would tell you is, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an attorney. I'm not no guru by any means at all. So if something does not resonate with you, then feel free to don't do it. Don't listen to me. Do your own research, regardless if it's coming out of my mouth or anybody else's, and do what resonates with you. Okay, do what resonates with you. I understand. So, but the information that we get, whether it's good, bad, whatever, is no such thing. Okay. I'm gonna explain that later. So what happens is we get this information, and then we don't understand it, or we're ignorant to really what's going on out here as far as them populating SSNs for the individual, which really isn't the living, breathing soul. Okay, that's why people say individual like that. You are not the individual, though it may seem that way. So, with that being said, you're simply creating a credit profile number to maintain your privacy and establish your own credit profile. It's not to be filing federal documents and stuff with, but you can build credit with it as far as credit cards and stuff like that. But if that's something that seems janky to you, then I completely understand. I'm not selling that product or service. I'm simply planting the seed for people if they're interested in that manner. Once again, I understand where the brother was coming from, because I was very, very weary on it, and a lot of people will tell you not to do it. And usually, what that means is they're coming from the bottom of their heart. And a lot of times, for instance, the reason the algorithm's changing, one of the reasons, in my opinion, the business credit algorithm has changed over the years, is because a lot of people get the information about how to build business credit without an SSN, and then they go out, run up, get credit lines of credit, whatever, and you can get money off a line of credit and credit cards. You can file bankruptcy with a business. If there's nobody attached to personally guarantee that business, then you can be on the beach in another country sipping pina coladas. You know what I'm saying? So people do that, to move like that, okay? And I'm not telling you to do that. That's to each his own. So the same way somebody can actually get a CPN and actually do it because maybe somebody's abusing your SSN or something, or whatever the case may be. And there's ways to clean up your credit and put it on freeze and take precautions. I always say the first plan of action is to fix your personal credit. Don't take any shortcuts. I do agree with that. But when you start coming to a certain level of information that you weren't privy to, that might sound weird, and you don't have anybody that's that knowledgeable in that arena or know where to get the information from, it seems weird and like it's illegal. It's not illegal. But I always say stay in honor, be moral, don't take any shortcuts. That process takes at least 6 months to 12 months to a year to 2 years, the same way when you were 18 and however, and you start building your credit profile. So Keep all that stuff in mind, family. I do my best, man, just to share the knowledge and stuff I come across. But once again, I'm not a guru. I'm not any of that. You know, I'm just simply somebody out here sharing my experiences and hope it helps somebody. But not everything I say is going to resonate with everybody. But that is a very controversial topic. And even when I first brought it up, I didn't really want to mention it because I knew this type of thing was going to come up. But it is what it is. If I put myself out there, then that's to be expected. So with all that being said, I appreciate you for coming to the channel and checking out this video for again, CPN, credit privacy number, credit profile number. What I was saying, real quick before we end the video, because I did bring up the Kybalion before, and I believe my older video, the last video I did, um, you know, check out the Kybalion. Check out the Hermetic principles or the seven natural laws. There's different many terms from it where it comes from, but you can actually find that if you just type in the Kybalion or the seven Hermetic principles or the seven natural laws. It'll come up. So it's like mentalism, correspondence, polarity, vibration, gender, cause and effect, rhythm. You know, I don't know if I'm missing what or not, but I'll probably put another image on the screen. And I want to talk about polarity. So polarity is pretty much there's no such thing as hot and cold. Let me fall back. Hot and cold are the so my camera keeps cutting off, come back on. But so hot and cold is the same thing, meaning it's the same in nature. Uh, in eyes of nature is the same thing, but there's just two different degrees. All right, so it's like one is at one far end of the spectrum, the other one is the complete opposite. But they're both innately the same in nature. So what does that mean? So that means like if I'm sitting in a house and it's 30 degrees and I put the thermostat on 70, then now I'm warm, right? 70 is warm, okay. But if I'm in a house and it's 100 degrees in the house and I put the thermostat on 70, now the house is cool, right? Just prospectively, right? And you can numbers are infinite, so you keep going and going and going. So, but anyway, essentially from that principle, same thing with good and bad. You know, good and bad. There's no really such thing as just merely perspective. You know, it's the same in nature. It's just different degrees, but we all have our perception. We think we know what good and bad is. Yes, as far as being moral and moral, like I say, we all have a code of ethics. But if you're looking at it from, a natural, metaphysical, those principles, you'll kind of start looking at things differently. Somebody who looks at something, let me see the difference. So as far as like cause and effects, like so instead of saying good and bad, like oh that's bad, oh that's good, I may say that everything that you do, there will be an effect for every cause for there will be an effect for every action that you take. What would be the action of me taking a man's life? What would be the action of me doing this or doing that in that certain way? There's going to be a certain reaction or a certain effect or something that happens along that way, and it's just nature. It's not necessarily right, wrong, good or bad, but that's the best way we have to express these ideas. And I'm getting all off track here, but hopefully you catch my drift, and my bad for kind of going out the deep end. But check out that book and it'll help you kind of understand the mindset in which that I'm speaking in regards to certain stuff. The reason I bring that up, as I talking about earlier, people will get this information and abuse it for the wrong reasons, and they really won't understand exactly what's going on when they actually get that number. Don't go out here getting a number from anybody. Some people, somebody died and you give you your old social security number and stuff like that. We're not talking about doing all that stuff, okay? And I know it's controversial, but it's because people have to have a certain level of education. So maybe that's my bad for mentioning that. But like I said, I don't have one. My mentors have them. I have seen them use them in a proper capacity and stand on that. So to each his own. I always say your first line of defense and what you should be focused on is focus on that personal credit, get that straight, and then you can actually leverage that to get in the door and do what you need to do. This is the Matrix, and they do things in a certain way that make us like we're not privy to how people move. Imagine learning this information at 12. Imagine all this information about business and commerce was shared with your family for hundreds and hundreds of years, or just long enough. We're in the year 2000 now, so Imagine this information was shared in your family line. We say at least for 100 years, and by the time you were 12 years old, you already understand what a business was. You understand what a trust is. You understand what a nonprofit is. You understand what an EIN is. So for me, I'm a child and with this information. So maybe I was wrong for saying that, but it's like I'm a child with the information because I feel like everything I'm coming across I should have learned when I was 12. But you know how it is. We don't know what we don't know, and then we all out here on this journey. So before I continue to make this a longer video, I appreciate that brother for making that comment. As a matter of fact, because I felt the same way when I first got started on my journey, until I came across some information. I realized, oh, it's just about how you use it and how you move with it, not necessarily that it's illegal. Um, but I will say, if it's something you want to, you're not willing to stand on and you don't understand it, then don't do it. And always do your own research and do what resonates with you. All right, peace.
I'm too smart to be broke. I'm too smart to be broke. I'm too smart to be broke.